What's up, guys? Welcome back to Orner Guides with your host, Chris. Today we're going to be covering a couple of fun things with the Beowulf class line, specifically the Hydrus line. As you can see, we've got it all unlocked, ready to go for you. Going to be running at 241 with an ascension level of 11. Let's dive right in, guys. What's up with the Hydrus? Well, it's the second of your ascension guides between the Augur and this. So, looking at base Bestila Oracle, as you can see, 14 spell slots, we're going to get a significant bump in mana, attack, magic, and that's all going to be important later. As your base one, you can see we go up to verse 3. It's going to give us more damage. This just gives you a basic idea why the Ascension Guide is really important. Is it's going to split out the abilities from your base class between those. Obviously, the Augur is going to have more of the pet abilities, going to make them stronger. It gives you pet access to level 3. Here, we're going to be taking more of the hybrid approach, so we're going to be the focus of the damage, where the pet is going to be more of a resource, but still a high damage. As you can see, the big part of this, we're going to get verse 4, which is going to give you more damage. Our biggest one is Hybrid Monster 3, so we're going to get more hybrid damage out of it. One thing to note, we are locked at Bestial Bond level 2, so we're not going to get access to the level 3 stuff, but it still will provide a significant benefit for you. You're also going to have Hydrus. This gives your pet a chance to take a kill for you. Protect is always important. We also get access to recharge again, so we're going to heal with our attacks. Looking at our secondaries, obviously Tamer, way to go. We're going to get more pet stats, more actions. Oracle is really good for this one. If you're running double amnities, you have a chance to run higher crit damage versus higher hybrid damage, depending on how your build goes. We'll go into that a little more. Raider is a great choice. Free Berserk, more attack. As you can see here, guys, I'm just showing you the stats. I'm running high ward. Attack and magic are going to be even because that is how you are going to get the most out of your hybrid damage. You also want to run a relatively high crit chance so that we are healing through this. The goal is to redline without overhealing. We'll go into that when we get to the fight. Pet-wise, I'm going to focus on the Marconi Penguin for this one. He's an excellent creature for this. He's got extra crit damage. He's got higher crit chance. He's also taking your crit chance and building with you, plus attack. You'll look at his buff rate and his spell rate. This is the basis for Hydrus. The nice thing about this is he also has DC. DC is going to be important for keeping your damage output up. 3 up for everything is amazing, right? He also has a 1% higher base chance than running the Ashen Phoenix, which is going to make a huge difference on uptime so that we're not having to cast that. In addition, we also have access to Beast Strike. He is going to be working off hybrid damage. He also has Infernus Mire, which will give him a casting ability to at least throw out some damage. And guys, don't shun this pet. Just because you're not the pet build does not mean he is not doing damage for you. He's just not as ideal as running this as an Augur. You still want to keep him around. That protect chance is huge, like I said. He's going to take a kill for you. There's a chance you're going to live through it. And we can keep going with our damage without really losing any turns. There's many different ways to play this. We're going to have to dive into a couple of the pets here later. But just keep this guy in mind. If you got him, he's awesome. Spell-wise, guys, nothing fancy. We are going to run Realm Strikes as our main damage. We have Osmo Strike if we need to emergent heal, and you'll see how important that is. Verse. This is going to be a very large amount of damage for you. It doesn't sound like much, but this is the bread and butter here. You'll notice I don't have Snatcher or Gunner up. That is because I want to show you the damage without that. No, you can still buff those. So if you're going to do more melee damage, you're going to want Gunner, obviously. If you're going to run Snatchera, we're going to be focusing on our verse damage, and then using Osmo Strikes and all that if we need it. Let's take a look at the gear. As you can see, it's a hodgepodge, guys. I'm actually running a Demon Forge Northern Cow, high crit, high ward. We're running a Masterful Fey Curist for the highest ward in the game, by the way. I am running a Masterful Greed of Dynasty. This also gives me access to Walls of Aru, which is a 2-turn Divine Bastion. Also, I read this with my warrior, so lots of ward on it. Celestial Loot, we are running 10% hybrid damage in crit. As you can see, we're going to run the Master Forged Fallen Shield. And then I'm running Lucas Gauntlets. These are easy fixes. You get temporary attack 3 and magic up, which are awesome. Amenity, I'm going to do a pet boost on this one just to show you how it goes. Ideally, you are going to want increased crit damage, increased dragon damage to make more of it. And if you can really get it, hybrid damage is another option. You got to play with this. If you're running these lower ones, Tamer, Raider are going to do more damage for you overall. Once you start getting into the Oracle side, we can run 2 of those. Imagine this build on crit damage. Just take off that hybrid damage from the Celestial Loot, put in the 10% crit damages, throw on 2 40% crit damage amenities. You are going to hit like a truck. The trick to that is you obviously have to have a high base crit, but remember we're also running Worm Song, so we're going to get a 20% boost. We also have a chance to have pets that are going to boost us. Lots of ways that we can get to that 100%. Great for melee, it's great for verse, it's great for dragon damage, whatever you need to do with it. Of note though, guys, I do want to throw in there, you're going to lose the ability to not get killed by dragons. And the base form of Beowulf, we are protected from it, we're immune, no problem. Both of your celestial classes lose that. Really important that you know that, especially if you're going to be fighting dragons, like the Nidhogg, who is going to hit you like a truck. But let's dive right in here, guys. We're going to take another look at some other pets. If you're in the event today, Risen Bloodward, excellent choice. He's going to be high crit damage. He's going to give you temporary crit. This is a really good pet for this, and if you don't have him during the event, go ahead and pick him up. Trust me, he will come in handy for PvP. Everybody's goodest boy. Get you a Risen Spirit Ward, guys. This thing is your highest raid damage pet, especially if you're running the Augur class. It is not shabby for Hydrus. It's great for PvP. You're also going to get a chance at getting, Med 3 up, so this is a good choice. For PvP, really recommend you getting an Arisen Stone Ward if you haven't. High chance to protect you. He's got a good buff rate. He's going to act like a Steward Golem and keep your shields up, but he also does damage. You also get these temporary defense buffs up, so for PvP, this is our go-to, guys. We're going to ward up, we're going to sit back, and we're just going to do damage with verse, and it's easy enough. Looking at the Ashen Phoenix, if you were not lucky enough to get a Marconi Penguin, because it was hard during the event, Ashen Phoenix is a good replacement. As you can see, you're not going to get the extra crit damage. You are going to get an accuracy boost, though, on top of DC. Buff rate is also a little bit lower. Keep that in mind. There are different ways you can build around that to make that better for you. Things like Brian Hilder are going to encourage the pet to buff you. We're going to take a look here at the Chimera. This excellent pet for this build. Of note, him and the Fey Chimera both will do the same thing as far as Berserk goes. You're going to have to plot for that when you're doing DC, though. Faljular, this is a lovely pet for this. He is going to give you the crit damage. Again, he does not have DC, though. So you're going to have to be the focus of this. Battle Mage robes, things like that are going to give you access to the 2-turn are ideal. Can you do it with 3? Yeah, it just throws off the damage a little bit, guys. Again, this pet's going to do just fine. I'm going to show you how he runs as we're going, because you're also going to get some crit buffs that are well worth it. He can put out a ton of damage on his own, so just keep that in mind. Looking at this one, if you're doing the events today for Canada Day, might as well look at Timmy the Beaver. Here, guys, you're going to start with Ward. Not really a big thing. He's going to give you a ton of resistance. He's going to give you a ton of bonded ward. And he's going to give you some defense buffs. He works like very scary skeletons, so he can do damage. A secret one that most people don't think about in this build is Glance Slant. He's got a very, very high attack rate. He's going to boost you, and he hits like an absolute truck. Cheap enough if you can find him. I'd recommend this as an early on pet. Obviously, you're going to want the other ones later. So, guys, we're just going to take a look here. As you can see, I've got a couple raids up for you. I want to show you what we're into as far as this build goes. Obviously, the event one that we're all looking for is the Juwanger. What we're looking for is the Fey gear. This is going to give you a good chance for an early on Beowulf gearing. Lots of pet stats. You're also going to want to focus on that Fey Suitor Sword, and you can take a look at the Fey Hellheist. Hellheist is always good for your view distance once these are fully upgraded and gemmed. You are going to have the highest view distance weapons in the game. With that being said, swords aren't bad either, so just keep those in mind. Jumping right in, guys, there's nothing fancy about this. We are going to do our usual setup. We're going to go straight into the ward. Then we are going to bastion ourselves so that we are protected. Again, 2 turn is great here. Get our mimics up, get our wyverns up, get our crit buff going. We're going to throw up Brynhildr's. If you're running a DC pet, I recommend it. It will give you more uptime for it. Not 100%, but well worth it. We're going to get our berserks going. And then I'm going to alternate on this fight a little bit. We're going to run both Verse, Realm Strike, so you can see the difference in the damage. And then, of course, when you get low health, if I need to get myself back up and I can't get that crit, it is amazing to throw an Osmo Strike and just crit and get a 80k heal if I really need it. So it goes super fast, and this is a less than ideal fight where I missed 4, 5, 6 turns in a row or got paralyzed. So, keep in mind I'm running the Lugos Gauntlets again. We can run protection for that. This was just to show you the amount of damage that you can get going with this class. As you can see, guys, it went really quick. So we're going to jump back in here and look at a couple of other fights. While I'm at it, I just want to bring up the event again. Again, if you don't have these pets, guys, Arisen, Blood Warg, Sphere Garm, and Stone Warg. Excellent pickups. If you're going to be doing PvP, Tinbrute the Beaver is a good choice. There are other PvP pets, obviously, but it's a good one to have in your pocket, especially early on. Just hits like a truck, guys. So it gives you a ton of bonuses while we're at it. I do want to bring up the actual quest line for this one. As you can see, the final quest is going to give you 5 million orns and 500 million gold on there. The quests before that, there are 4 to turn in. You're going to get 50k orns with it. That is until you add in another item, and that's our questing license. Reason I wanted to bring that up to you, if you're early on and you're trying to get these things, pop these greater quest licenses on this. You're going to get extra rewards for it, and they do stack up. Just to show you how much, here's a quick shot, almost 9 million right off the bat, guys. So you're going to get over 10 million just for the quest line alone, which is going to put you so far ahead with your other classes. Looking at the raids for this particular event, you're also going to want to look at the Arisen Merlins here. The gear is not that great, I'm not going to lie to you. You are aiming for Merlin's concoctions. Those are an excellent potion to get temporary magic 3 up. They're really good to have on hand. Again, it takes a lot of farming to get a ton of them, but it is an easy access to it, especially if you're trying to min-max damage or, get a good shot in there. Both him and the regular version of Merlin will drop this. So farm away, take your chances with it. It's a really good chance to stock up on Avalon ore. So these are never bad things to have on hand. The other thing with that is the fights are really easy. He's not going to do a ton of damage to you as long as you're shielded. Really, you can sit back and have a lot of fun with it. I do want to take a chance to kind of show you. This is a base Beowulf form. I'm also running this basically as a hybrid damage, so it's a little bit less. Again, same kind of situation where I've got the Marconi Penguin to back me up. I'm just showing you different fights, how quick the damage can go, even as a base level. Now, I do have the advantage of having the Celestial Loot with 5 augments for 50% on hybrid, but you're still going to drop plenty of damage, guys. It doesn't matter if you go melee or verse. I'm a big fan of verse because it's higher crit. It's easier for me to control. It misses a lot less. But Realm Strike is just as good for this situation. Keeping that Osmo Strike just in case I need it. We're going to keep our magic just fine. I did want to take a second just to show you the gear, guys. As you can see, this is your Celestial Loot. I'm running the Arms of Selene on it. Those are going to give me the extra 10% to my hybrid damage, plus crit, and some attack and magic. You need to keep that even. The way the mathematics are going to work on it, the closer they are together, the better off you are. You don't want to have 8,000 attack and 5,000 magic. It just doesn't build itself as well. So try to keep them as close as you can. That's why we're using the loot for this. Helmet wise, this is what I ran with the base level, just to give you an idea. Again, we're running really high crit, really high ward. In this case, Ashen Pinions. Less than ideal because I'm losing attack and magic, but I'm gaining enough crit that it really kind of evens itself out. You can regear these however you want, guys. I'm just showing you some other options, the dexterity, all of that. If you get a chance this event, try and get you a Fey Suitor's Cuirass. This is the highest ward in the game. Again, this one's gemmed more for my Titan class, but it's really high ward. You can't argue that. I mean, Demon Forge, we're going to be at almost 72% just off the chest. The Fallen Shield, going to be your highest offhand ward. Also has great health. Looking at the legs here, guys, I'm running this literally for walls. Again, it's shared with my warrior, so it's really high ward. But it's an easy way to do it with the Jewels of Creation because I've got tons of health. I can take a hit. I'm not too worried about dying. If I was trying to min-max the damage, I would probably run something more attack-wise and mana. So, and again, guys, I just want to show you Tinder the Beaver. He is an adorable little thing, as you can see. An excellent choice for a pet on this one. When you have access to the pet level 3, you're also going to get Boulder Toss. This actually hits pretty hard, guys. So while the boards start for 2 turn, it's not too major. You can see he still hits like a truck. I do want to remind you, I am at a base level of the Beowulf Hydrus on this, so I'm not getting the actual pet effect to show you all of this. The damage would be higher as an augur because you're going to have that level 3. But it gives you a good idea of what you're looking at as far as spell rate. Is he going to buff me? Is he going to focus on giving me guarding strikes? Any of those are excellent answers for this pet. He is a good little ad for this. Just to show you how he adds up here. Ward's fine. My health is fine. And then my defenses are high. I do take a hit to my attack and magic, but he's going to make up through that because I'm going to get to live longer to do more damage throughout the fight. Alright, guys. That's what we got so far today. I hope this helps y'all. I will try to keep these going for you. I really enjoy doing this. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and we'll keep this going. Hope this helps somebody. Any questions, leave a comment. Have a good day, guys.